Hey guys, I'm Tomasz Gop, an executive producer working on Lords of Fallen. I'm going to show you some of the brand new gameplay, including a new boss fight.
Thanks for joining us today.
How's it going?
Yeah, pretty good. How's things with you?
Not bad, not bad. I'm really happy to be able to show the game to everybody so close to completion.
Yeah. So we're literally only, 6 weeks away now?
Around that, definitely, yeah. It's 31st of October, so yeah, you nailed it. 6 weeks around that, yeah.
So what are you going to show us today then?
We got 2 demos. The first one that we're going to be showing is literally the opening of the game. And the interesting thing about it is that I personally believe that a major factor in whether or not Lords is going to be a successful game is if it will feel, is whether or not it will feel like a game that is challenging to a fair extent, but still explaining things well. And that's why I think it's a really good idea to show people the tutorial and show what we've done at the opening of the game to make sure that, because if we were to make like a parallel here, it's like playing chess with somebody who's mute and not talking to you at all, and playing chess with somebody who actually explains you how things move, and so that's Lords. This is what we tried to do, and this is what we're going to be showing today. And also, I think it's really cool to be able to show the insight into the story way deeper than we've done ever before. So we're going to be showing you the opening of the storyline, and we're going to be showing you how everything starts up and why you are where you are, why you are about to do things that you're about to do, and so on and so on and so on. Let's go ahead. The opening of the game is, before you actually see the cinematics and all that, is actually choosing your starting character. And there are 2 choices that you have to make in here: magic type and equipment selection. And the magic type is the spell tree that is being locked down for you for the rest of the playthrough. Apart from the obvious things regarding the types of magics that different playstyles sort of represent and manifest, there's also a less obvious thing regarding the cleric class, or a soulless type of magic, as this is the only magic that actually has 1 spell unlocked from the very beginning, because magic is not an obligatory tactics in Lords. Let's actually start with this one. An equipment selection from the lightest guy, who can move fastest and who can use weapons in both hands, who can evade so quickly that sometimes he doesn't have to use a shield, through the middle guy, who can actually effectively both block and roll, medium movement speed, and has got a very heavy hammer, to guy that is very, very heavy. He can block very effectively, but I would not rely too much on rolling with this guy. So, and this choice is independent from the previous one, but it doesn't look down to you for the rest of the playthrough, because you can level up your character and change your gear as much as you want. Let's actually choose this one. We'll see how that one works for us. So we got ourselves a ranger type of character, and 1 spell is fully unlocked, and yeah, let's go ahead. The opening of the game is actually an interesting element, because it's one of the cinematics that we've already shown before, but right now we're giving it a context. It's gonna be it's like a vision, like a dream of our mentor, of a guy who actually found Harkin, who pulled him out of prison, and who made him do, and who believed in him, and who believed that he could do the things that he's about to do, which is fight demons. And this is the context of the CGI video that we have shown already. But now with the context, it's probably going to feel a slightly different.
Fallen God, creator and destroyer of worlds, hear my vow. Hear my vow. My vow of defiance.
So at the moment, Harkin's still in prison.
Technically, yes. When this dream is happening, he was in prison. But we're back at present now. This is Keystone, Hand of God Mountains, and it's present time, different war. And this is the Keystone Monastery. The moment that Harkin and his mentor arrive
Then
there,
our quest for Antanas nears a conclusion.
I hope he's worth the price in blood.
And that's quite a lot of sins on his face that we can see.
yeah. I don't want to spoil how many of these are there, but
Let's get to work.
it's quite a lot.
There's enough.
It's quiet. Too quiet. Even for a monastery. Hold on.
Important thing about Antanas, the guy who we're here to see, is he's ruling this place. He's sort of the emperor of this part of the world. And since Demon raided this place, we're of course here to help. And we're going to start our search for why they're attacking in here. That's the first demon that we're going to fight, by the way. And also, it helps that Kaslo, our mentor, knows Antanas quite well. So that also helps to find him. The first minutes or even hours of the game are tutorials. Most of them are actually not obligatory. This is the representation of one of the very few tutorials that actually, I mean, you can still skip it, but if you want to take it, it will actually tell you what to press at what moment, like this part in here. So we've noticed that two most important things that we think are that people gotta know from the get-go, and a lot of people forget these, is how to focus your camera on your opponent and how to manage your energy throughout the fight. We've noticed throughout like playtests and all that this is something that a lot of people tend to forget, and within the couple first tutorials these two things are being reminded a couple of times, because we've noticed that even if you tell that once to people, a lot of people forget. So yeah, that was the first tutorial. Before we move ahead, let's just talk to Kaslo, our mentor, who's going to be waiting in here because he's hurt. And we got to find a way to open the door. This door is actually locked right now. And let's see.
It's locked.
So, about Antanas maybe?
How will we find Antanas once we're inside?
The man we are looking for. He wants to be found.
Yeah, and also, it doesn't look really bad. Really good, I wanted to say.
You're still losing blood, Kaslo.
It's not as bad as it looks.
We didn't come all this way just so you could die on the doorstep.
I've treated injuries like this one before. I'll deal with it once we get inside.
Okay. Also, we can ask about the environment.
I've seen only corpses, no survivors.
Antanas would give his life to protect his people. If he is alive, then some of the others survive too.
Right, let's move ahead. Let's try to find the key. Oh, I can actually smash it. Why not? We have to try to. There's a door that leads to the area around this this place, and it will lead us to where the key is. Once we let me just switch to dual stance. Interesting. And this is what most of the tutorials, these hints, will look like. They will tell you things that might help you, but you're not forced to read them. So we actually will skip this guy for now. We'll move ahead because it tells us that these guys are blind. Charging attacks. Let's try that. Holding the attack button while attacking. Oh, and he bit me. Okay. Hope I'll make it. I did a combo on this guy. Luckily that worked. Let's pop a potion. This is actually an optional area in a tutorial right now. But if we take this one, there's a secret that I don't want to miss. Sorry for spoilers, guys, by the way. We can refocus the camera if we want to. Let's try to, let me see if I can actually get behind these guys. Not to alarm them. That's going to be tough. But there is a stealth element if you want it in this game. There we go. Let me see if I can destroy the table. Yeah, maybe I can get behind this guy and try to backstab him. Ah. Bad positioning. Alright. He actually noticed me right now, so maybe I can dispatch him quickly. Not bad. So this guy dropped energy shard, and there's also, I think, yeah, there's a fire resistance shard in here. And here, for anybody who would miss this, if you destroy these two shelves in here, there's actually a secret that requires to use an evasive roll to get inside. And what you find in here is an extra flask, and this flask is gonna give you one more potion that regenerates at the save point. It's quite a powerful item that you can find at the very beginning, but at the same time, it's not obvious. It's a little bit hidden. We can also skip this guy if you want to, but you know what? What I wanted to show you is how we tell the story in various different ways. You've seen one of them already. Let me see. I'm gonna have to... I was gonna turn around, maybe? No. Oh, backstab. Not bad. Okay, good. And now, you've already seen dialogues and cinematic breaks. This is the most direct way of how to tell the story. We have a couple layers, actually. There's also an audio note layer that tells you around about the background. Here is the story of these guys that we're fighting, the Infested. What happened to them? They were actually monks before.
It is in me, and it is changing me. My skull. The bones are moving, growing. It does not feel like poison in my veins, more like liquid darkness. We have seen with others what happens next. Eyesight goes first, then follows sanity. Brother William, Brother Peter and I won't let the disease take us. We will choose death before it chooses us.
Yeah, so there was part of the story of the Infested. If you go into the lore screen, for example, we see that we have only one note about these guys. There's an extra one, and then this one completes the whole set, which gives us the complete insight into the backstory of these guys, transmuted by the dark powers of magic. Now, is this guy facing his back to me? Maybe. Yeah, he was. So that's a free backstab for me. Alright, there's actually a key that I'm trying to find. And once again, I don't have to fight this guy if I don't want to. So maybe I can just grab a key and get away from here. Let's see if I can do that. Good. That's the key I need to open the door without alarming this guy. Let's move ahead. Yeah, there's a next audio note. I think this one is from a different topic. But I think that, yeah, there's one more guy in here, so let's pick up a note and dispatch this guy in the meantime.
These things keep coming. We fight back, but there are too many of them. It's sickening to see them move. Their limbs twist and turn in ways they're not supposed to. They smell. It's like fire and death are creeping up your nose. One of the creatures we were fighting spat on us. The saliva hit my eye. It burned, and it burns deeper into me.
That was actually a second audio note about Infested, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. If you found both of them, you get an extra bit of lore. Alright. One last thing about the tutorial area of this game. Here's a more powerful enemy. We could go ahead and fight him, or we could just retreat. I mean, not retreat, but backtrack and go to the very place that we entered the arena, and then we would still be able to get to the door and open it. But I feel lucky today, you know. Let's try this way. You know, he's got a bit of tactical advantage, so I'll try to pull him downstairs and fight him here. Okay, I actually managed to stun him. Alright, not bad, not bad. And I have not even used the spell yet. I'm saving that one for the boss fight, in case you've not noticed. So yeah, we've come all the way around. We're back at the place where we were before, the door that we gotta open. Let's just make sure we speak to our mentor. He's gonna replenish our health potions before we move on.
I found a key.
What are you waiting for? Open the door.
Yes. 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 It's just the boss fight. Okay. All right. Let's fight the boss now. It's one of the bosses that we have shown before, but I'm not sure whether you guys have seen it fighting with Rogue with dual weapons. I can't get hit. That's the most important element of strategy, fighting this boss this way. But I'll try to utilize my dual-wielded combos as much as possible to get him down as fast as possible. And then you will also see it's the first time that we're showing how it looks like in the final version of the game to defeat a boss. What's the reward, how it looks, and what you get.
If you didn't go in with dual wield weapons, the cutscene would look different.
It always represents the character as you are. So if you go with different type of gear, you would be shown wearing exactly what you are showing. So that would be, yeah, if it would be a knight with a heavy armor or a cleric with a great hammer, that would also be, whoa, let's dodge this one. All right. The most important approach and tactics in this fight to find openings of this guy. Try to deal damage in the meantime. Get around him. There you go. I think it's gonna be very hard for me not to get hit in this fight, but if I manage to pull it off, that would be awesome. There would actually be a way for me to get a special reward. You know what? I have an idea. Let's make him fight the... There you go. I can get a couple hits on him. Yeah, that's how you use the statue kind of spell. It attracts the attention of the enemy. Alright, we're close to the third stage of the fight. He's gonna be dropping parts of his armor throughout this fight. And of course the last one is where he... Okay, careful. Where you will finally drop his shield. We managed to break his shield and... Alright. We're not doing too bad actually. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I got hit. Alright. I'm still alive though. Not bad, not bad. The last stage of this fight is technically he's more vulnerable because he doesn't have a shield anymore. But at the same time, of course, he becomes more aggressive. So I'm just gonna have to be extra careful. Okay, it's not bad. We're almost there. Probably don't want to get too greedy. So let's wait for this attack to finish. Okay, and now... Not bad. Not bad. Wrapping it up, what happens when a boss dies is you get a lot of experience from defeating him. You get the energy. And also, you get a very unique crafting material. The highest tier of magical runes that are used for crafting, and they only drop from bosses. And also, in this case, we get a weapon that this boss was using. Because I got hit throughout the fight, I'm not gonna get a very special, unique version of this weapon, but still, and a badge, of course. Badge for defeating First Warden.
What was that?
But I
One of those lords.
I will get a sword that he was using. It's called Persistence, and it's actually pretty good sword. The only thing is that I don't have... it requires 15 strength. I don't have that much right now, so I'm not going to be able to use it effectively. But it's got a really interesting moveset. Great swords are really powerful weapons. They're quite slow. And one last thing I want to show, it's quite interesting how you level up and how you spend your experience in this game. We wanted to make sure that people don't miss the fact that at any given save point, you can actually bank the experience that you have so that you don't carry it with you and you don't lose it when you die. So I have 1500 XP right now. I can spend it on both spell points and attribute points. If I press my left trigger, I'm going to be banking my experience towards spell points. And if I press the right trigger, I'm going to be banking, I'm just 10 XP or 50 XP short for one attribute point. But I can upgrade one of my spells if I want to. I don't think I have enough faith, but that is also connected. Anyways, Lords of the Fallen, the opening of the game, I wanted to show you how we are explaining the mechanics of the game to people, how we are trying to get people pulled into showing them tip of the iceberg of how nice and complex the combat system in Lords is and how the mechanics of the game work. And from now on, people are pretty much free to play with their toys and try to experiment and find their own way of fighting the game. And that was the opening of the game.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
Pleasure.
Thanks for watching. Why not subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the link on the screen now?